You know, you mustn't think that I'm lonely. No, lonely is for people who are sorry for themselves.
In my mission to uncover every obscure bit of pressed peanut sweepings, I've brought you some really weird stuff, like the time the Peanuts kids were randomly inserted into a classic folktale. Or when Charlie Brown went full stalker.
Linus, I just saw the most beautiful girl in the world.
But there is one that has driven me to the brink of embafflement, that has me legitimately questioning the very nature of Peanuts itself. This, then, is the big, stuffed dog. So how do you like the new open? We're going into year 6 with a light refresh. And a new profile pic, courtesy of my friend Christian, whose work you've seen here before. You can help me keep it going for another 5 years, and all you have to do is like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. And a new way to support the channel is by checking out the official Cynical Adult Watches Cartoons merch store. All designs are by me, and I'll be putting up more on the regular. So hit the link in the description. In my research for this series, I've encountered what I consider the funniest Peanuts special. The most emotional Peanuts special. And what I consider the perfect Peanuts special. That's something we'll get into in a future video. And this one, the weirdest thing ever to have the words, "a Peanuts special," on it. For one thing, it's not a cartoon. It uses a little-known technique called live action to tell its story. I don't think it'll catch on. For another thing, it's not Peanuts. It doesn't have Charlie Brown, or Linus, or Schroeder, or any patty, peppermint, or original flavor. What it has is a parade of actors that will make Gen Xers go,
"Hey, it's that guy!"
And it does have Snoopy. Kind of. Petey is excited to go see his grandpa. He also has an unhealthy attachment to his stuffed dog.
Mom bought 2 tickets so he could sit right next to me.
You didn't. That's no teddy bear he drags around, you know, or some stupid security blanket.
And that's the one implicit reference to anything Peanuts related. You will notice that at no point is the name Snoopy ever said.
You didn't happen to see a white dog with black ears come in on this flight, did you?
This appears to be a world in which Peanuts, the comic strip and worldwide media franchise, does not exist. This is not your classic jumbo Snoopy from Hallmark. This stuffed dog is apparently just a random combination of a white body and long black ears that coincidentally happens to resemble the character that we, in this timeline, know as Snoopy. At the airport, they encounter this pushy businessman.
But I've got to get to Stamper's Chapel this evening.
I'm sorry, sir, but that flight's completely booked.
And if you can work out what he's saying there, let me know. Stamper's Chapel?
I have 2 reservations for Stamper's Chapel.
Stammel's Chamel? I got nothing.
This gentleman would like to take this same flight. Would you be willing to give up the seat reserved for the dog and send him his baggage instead?
The encounter leads to a series of contrived mishaps, and the dog gets left behind while Petey flies off to Yapple's Dapple.
But where's my dog? My dog isn't here.
Well, you didn't tell me you were bringing a dog.
He's white and has long black ears.
Oh, my.
Oh, yeah. That guy.
Yes, that's Noah Beery from the Rockford Files.
I can't handle that stuff.
Yeah, I know you always was real delicate, that department. Like a billy goat.
So the dog bounces through a series of mostly wacky misadventures, starting when he's found by this old lady.
You all right, big fella?
She takes him home, watches TV with him, plays marbles with him, and reads him a Tarzan novel.
Tarzan of the Apes, now known to society as Lord Greystoke, was sitting in the Paris house of his friend, Lieutenant Darnot.
Yeah, she died like 20 minutes after that.
I did say the misadventures were mostly wacky. Things pick up with the dog's next owner.
Hey, buddy! How much for the dog?
I guess he wants...
Hey, look, it's that guy.
Yes, that's Abe Vigoda of Barney Miller.
Are you aware that those brownies you brought in this morning were laced with hashish?
First time in 20 years I felt really good. And it has to be illegal.
And of isAbeVigodaDead.com. No spoilers.
Here's $10. Go ahead, take it. Okay?
He's a carny who apparently gets his prizes from any old place, but he meets his match in Lily.
What do I have to do to win that big stuffed dog?
While we were partying, Lily studied the dart. She's been training for this moment like Samurai Jack training to battle Aku. Lily does not throw away her shots. He knows he's outmatched. He even tries to weasel out with one last extra small balloon. As the dog has been going through these episodes, he's being pursued by what appears to be a geriatric biker gang, who grab the dog, not knowing they've got the wrong stuffed animal.
So where's the money?
It's gonna be here. The money's coming in a stuffed animal.
Look, there it comes now. Can you get it?
Hey, it's that guy!
Yes, that's Gordon Jump, who we all remember from this.
As God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly.
Making these bikers conspicuously old seems to be a deliberate choice. They even have this faux Glenn Miller theme music. The bikers catch up to Lily as she's taking the dog home. So, after all that training and that epic battle with Abe Vigoda, she stashes the dog under this randomly placed blanket and splits.
In a chase, it's always better to split up.
And as you've probably already guessed, under that blanket is the basket of a hot air balloon being used in a gimmick wedding.
May your lives always be lived above in the sunshine, high above the troubles of lowly earth.
And what's interesting to me is how they managed to get all the way through the ceremony and up in the air before they noticed this bloody great stuffed dog in the basket with them.
Hey, what's this, a stowaway?
Well, he's going over the side right now.
No!
Apparently, the balloon takes them all the way to Slappy's Nappy because they find themselves directly above Petey and Grandpa.
Oh, wow! He jumped!
So Petey is reunited with his dog, who's going to smell great after being in the water.
How'd you find me? Did you miss me?
I'm not sure if by Dolly Madison even applies here. Even without any explicit connections to Peanuts, you can still feel Charles Schulz's fingerprints on this. In a sense, the story could be compared to Snoopy Come Home.
Hey, Ma! I found a stray dog. Ma! Oh, Ma!
Or any story where Linus loses his
Stupid security blanket.
Lily's obsessive balloon dart training feels like something Peppermint Patty might have done. And she has more than a bit of Lucy energy.
Robbie, give me a quarter. I know you have one. Your mother told me, so just hand it over.
Which makes sense, since Sidney Penny played Lucy that same year.
You made Charlie Brown disappear. You better make him reappear.
And like the Peanuts kids, she spends a lot of time unsupervised when she really should be supervised.
You know where you're going, miss?
Yes, officer. I'm going home. I'm almost there.
Okay. Good night.
And there are other behind-the-scenes connections, like the music by Ed Bogus and Judy Munson. And the cast included Scott Beach.
Good friends, we have gathered here to unite in holy matrimony these two lovely young people.
Who was the go-to adult voice for the cartoons.
Blimey, it's a bit dicey understanding these Yanks.
And Debbie Muller.
There's a little boy and a man going fishing.
Who you've also heard here before.
In the front and rear sections, the film Laughing Bunnies will be shown, plus Naughty Marietta in the center section.
And was married to Lee Mendelson. And speaking of being married, that's Jean Schulz. That's Charles Schulz's wife. And this isn't related, but I kept wondering why Petey looked so familiar. So I looked up Rossi Harris.
Wait a minute. I know you. You're Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You play basketball for the Los Angeles Lakers.
I'm sorry, son, but you must have me confused with someone else. My name is Roger Murdoch. I'm the co-pilot.
The Big Stuffed Dog aired as part of Project Peacock.
Last year, these primetime specials for young people included Donahue and Kids. And this season, our pride is showing.
One of NBC's attempts to compete with 60 Minutes on Sunday evenings.
Our pride is showing on NBC.
And I actually remember watching a couple of these. I saw The Electric Grandmother.
Oh, I'm afraid I have a terrible weakness where names are concerned.
That was based on the story I Sing the Body Electric by Ray Bradbury. And if anyone tries to tell you, no way did they ever make a movie out of a Coca-Cola commercial.
Mr. Green?
Yeah.
Want my Coke?
You can tell them the hell they didn't.
No, that's okay, kid.
It's okay, you can have it.
The Big Stuffed Dog was released on VHS in 1997. Not only is it not included in the recent Ultimate TV Specials box set, it's not even included in discussions of what's not included. There's not a lot of info out there about this one, so I couldn't tell you why the choice was made to do a Peanuts adjacent project and in live action. Other than Schulz and Mendelsohn were increasingly using TV as a way to experiment with the format without it affecting the strip. They took the idea a step further with It's the Girl in the Red Truck, Charlie Brown. And yeah, that's another one we're going to get into in a future video. That was in the wake of Roger Rabbit, when everyone was acting like combining live action with animation was a new idea.
Let's check out the headgear on Shorty over there.
Can I help you? I'll have a root beer float, please.
And I recently learned that in the 90s, John Hughes made a deal to write and direct a live-action Peanuts, which I'm not against in principle if you look at the totality of his work. But this was the era when he was responsible for stuff like Baby's Day Out, so I'm not completely sold. Either way, I assume it would have had Macaulay Culkin. Watching The Big Stuffed Dog, I did unironically enjoy the direction by Robert Fust, the director of The Abominable Dr. Phibes and Revenge of the Stepford Wives. There's an absurd beauty when the dog is the focal point of the frame, independent of humans in a kind of liminal state. The only comment I could find from Schulz about The Big Stuffed Dog was in the book Conversations, where he praised his adult actors' professionalism and threw a little shade at his kid actors. But those liminal moments did make me think of what he said the year before in Happy Birthday, Charlie Brown.
You might almost say that Snoopy has now gone off and is leading a life of his own in a certain way. I was thinking about the toys. Now, I draw the comic strip each day, and I force Snoopy to do what I want him to do. But if a child is playing with a stuffed Snoopy, Snoopy is now off in this other life, doing things over which I have no control. He's out there leading his own life.
So, have you seen The Big Stuffed Dog? Did you watch it in 1981 and write it off as a fever dream? Drop your comments down below. And while you're down there, remember to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Hey kid, catch.
Thanks, Mean Joe.
Hey, kid.
All right, cut.